It's the warmest day of the Australian Open, and in this burning heat, there will be burning desire. Two of the greatest players ever. All the ingredients you need for a match for the ages.
Love 15. Love 13.
Couple of problems with the contact lenses in his previous match, did Novak, taking on Raonic towards the end.
15, 13.
Well, as great as Fed's serve has been for all these years, tonight he needs to serve at his best, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Because this is the best returner in the men's game.
Well, he's also one of the best defenders the game has ever seen.
14.
And already Federer's serve under pressure.
Well, I think it's fair to say no one has ever had that 1-2 punch better than Roger Federer. The accurate first serve, not the fastest first serve in history, but one of the best in terms of accuracy, consistency, and when he gets that semi-short forehand, it's over. A lot of the time.
Federer. Yes.
What a return of serve that was from Novak. Blistering pace.
Please. Thank you. Advantage, Federer.
Well, the good news for Federer fans is that he's got decent pace on this serve, so whatever groin issue he had seems to be not hampering him on that. And a 200k serve in this game, his fastest for the tournament, has been 203, so he's well within the touching range of that.
Advantage, Federer.
Fitzy, I thought we'd go some way to beating what we saw last night in the match between Thiem and Nadal, but this opening game here bodes well.
Yeah, look at a tough opening game. I mean, I think Federer's done well to come back from that 15-40 first 4 points. Were tough for him, but still hasn't won this opening game. 6 minutes in. Well, he's going to need that. I mean, he's hit 3 aces in this first game and he's only just in front. That's an indication of the guy he's serving at.
First game.
6 enthralling minutes already. And we've got just 1 game on the board. It finally goes Federer's way, but an indication of just how hard he's going to have to work tonight. More miles in the legs, more time on court. So Bernucci on the right, Merker there in the middle, Ivan Ljubicic on the left of your picture.
Djokovic to serve.
Mark, I think it's great that Fed held that opening game, but he doesn't want to have those long, arduous efforts every time he steps up, does he? That'll have a cumulative effect. He needs to win a few games easily on his own serve as well.
Love it, team.
I almost think no pace sometimes is okay against Djokovic. When you go with pace to him, it comes back with interest virtually every time.
Fifteen. 15-30.
Pretty fair backhand. We saw a pretty good one-hander last night in Dominic Thiem, didn't we? That's up there with that. Strange opening here from Djokovic. A few unforced errors that you don't often see.
Just didn't look like there was the space to hit it into.
Sure, even for a player of this stature,
leads 2 games to love.
That's a 1 out of 6 or a 7. What a shot that was. He had an inch of daylight here to hit this past Djokovic.
Smart shot.
Love 15.
And probably not the tactic Federer should use. If he can't put more than this on the forehand approach, then there's not much point in coming forward. That was up the middle of the court, putting him immediately under pressure.
What a response this is from Novak as well. Credit to him, he's just got beaten by one of the best backhand passes you'll see this year, perhaps even this decade, and we're only just the first year into it. And he has responded brilliantly.
Approach makes sense.
15-30.
Already an indication Federer is going to come forward often. There's a myriad of thought processes that might go along with that. A plethora of them, Mark. What does it mean? But at least if he hits a penetrating approach,
30.
very important he holds now, isn't it? I mean, to consolidate that break gives him a wide open opportunity to get a set ahead in this match.
It's interesting, Djokovic moving deeper again for this match. Obviously moved up on the baseline against Raonic to try and cut the angles down, take the ball at a comfortable height. And we've seen Roger try and target the wide serve on the juice side to get round him. Djokovic hits straight back. Look at that intensity from the world number 2.
Left for serve. Left. 30 left.
Just the first time, perhaps, that we've seen something Fitzy in terms of Federer's movement there.
I was about to say, are we imagining things? imagining things,
40.
and he will try to keep the
13.
points as short as possible. He'll go for winners at times when normally he wouldn't. So in other words, if he is struggling physically in somewhere, he'll go for more.
Yes.
Novak there sort of took his foot off the accelerator.
Federer.
When he gets the one in the air, he doesn't do enough with it. He backpedaled, and the next shot was too short and light. Fed's going to be all over that.
Such a good serve. And a timely one as well. Forehand is made of greatness, Federer. But he is penetrating with it, isn't he? Maybe more than we might have suspected early. He's got Djokovic a little bit on the back foot with his forehand. Not easy to do.
Yes.
Two of the most perfect serves you could have asked for on the break points down. He's only actually faced 11 break points coming into this match, and that's 3 already. And the majority of those coming in the opening match against Struff, 5 of them. Been broken just 6 times. Here comes another break point. And there's been the usual blend of tennis that Federer brings to a tennis court. The power, the finesse, the slice. It's just upset Novak's rhythm a little bit here in the opening stages. For a second time.
Yeah, you rarely see a game at that lower level for Novak Djokovic. I mean, nothing to be super worried about, but for his amazing lofty standards, that wasn't a great game. A little bit put off by the off-speed backhand chips, slices by Federer, and dropped a couple of balls short on the Federer forehand where he got hurt.
I think he was expecting the chip return as well, wasn't he? On the wide one, Federer electing to drive through it, as he's done much more in recent years, but especially since Ivan Lubicic came on board.
No deceleration there. Little anger in that forehand return.
15-all. Mr. Federer challenging the call on the right far sideline. Ball was called fault.
Well, I think the linesman came in with a late call here. Djokovic was going to challenge it. Oh, wow. Djokovic was going to challenge it.
13,
I think that might have,
15.
maybe I'm being harsh, but it might have affected the linesman to come in with a late call, and it forced Federer to challenge it himself. And rightly so.
The deal.
He measured the forehand, he didn't go for the outright winner. Pretty much knew Novak would get there, but he was covering all options at that stage, particularly the overhead.
Awesome overhead, by the way. He made the overhead look easy, and he's got away to a start here, hasn't he? It's made it interesting.
Billy Idol.
Yeah, the legend.
Watching an idol.
Love the team.
This is staggering. That's why the number of winners that are coming off his racket right now on courts that everyone has deemed to be pretty slow against somebody who moves as well as Novak is astonishing.
I'm one of the people who wondered, you've got that thought process of, is he injured, hanging over you, hanging over the whole stadium? He comes out like this and lets it fly.
Let's first serve. Mr. Djokovic is challenging the call on the right far sideline. Ball was called fault.
Well, it felt good. And it was good. That's a millimeter. That's how good it's got to be right now from Novak. Marian Vida has seen pretty much all of these contests between these two, and he will be a little nervous with how Federer is wielding that racket at the moment.
Well, this can make a difference. If he holds on here, Djokovic, he stems the flow just that little bit.
Advantage, Djokovic.
Well, he is playing high-risk tennis, Roger. It's just whether he's good enough to maintain it. We know how good he is, but to do it for a long period of time at this risk percentage he's using. Virtually going for everything.
Scary. It's one thing to come out with a game plan to bring all-out attack against Novak, and it's another thing to execute it.
But he looks so relaxed, and it must be because he's feeling like there's less to lose. Sure, psychological.
Novak looking up again at his box, and he is deeply annoyed about something. Now, we can only sit here and muse and wonder about what that is, but it could have been that he's been sort of told that Roger's not really ready for this match physically, and at the moment he would be having his doubts about that.
Maybe it's just the scoreline, because he knows, as we know, that when Federer has taken the court, not once in his two-decade career has he defaulted. So if Roger comes out here, there's no excuses. You can't blame the thought process. I think that maybe he's injured. He shouldn't be playing this well. I mean, he's out here. But he would be a little annoyed that he was facing 5-1 there.
15 left.
His location with his first serve in this opening set has been nothing short of remarkable.
7 aces, Mark.
left.
We'd be pretty darn happy, wouldn't we? That's just regulation.
40 left.
Novak's got no idea where the serve's going. He keeps dissecting the corners.
It's still a big hold, though, that previous one from Novak. It's made Federer serve through 2 more service games instead of being 5-1 up.
New ball space.
Ruffled in that one.
Federer leads 5 games to 2.
And he's a game away from this first set. And it is Federer within touching distance of taking the first set.
And we haven't seen the best of Novak so far, but I just think he's been surprised, totally surprised and thrown on the back foot.
Love 13. Well, the most Grand Slam matchups in the Open era is between Novak and Roger. Djokovic leads it 10-6. But he is very much on the back foot tonight so far.
15-30. Let's first serve.
Be handy for Fed to break through again, wouldn't it? Because if Djokovic holds here, the previous hold he had comes right into play.
And obviously from a process point of view, over the best of 5 as well, given the miles that Roger's put in. He'll want to make this opening set, even if he loses it, last as long as he can. Novak's second serve percentage at the moment.
Deuce.
Down at 14%. That equates to 1.1 out of 7. And interesting enough, he's had a great record on second serve here. And he's serving 5 miles an hour faster, about 8 Ks faster than he did last year without serving double faults. But he is serving predominantly into the forehand side with his second serve on the deuce and the ad. And it will be interesting whether he feels as though he's going to need to start changing that tonight against Federer, who loves to use pace on that forehand, shorten the swing, and he can get it back to his opponent quickly. And that was a change-up serve from Novak.
Advantage. Djokovic. Federer leads
4-1.
5 games.
Could have broken again to lead 5-1. This first set would have been over. But now he's faced with a pressure game to close out the first set. Good effort from Djokovic to stay with him here. Starts with his first one of those. Federer felt the logical shot was to chip this ball and go in, but I think he felt if he chipped it, it would take too much pace off it and make it easy for Djokovic, he chooses to go with the harder choice there when the ball was low to the court. So, love 30.
Let's. First serve.
Fed doesn't think it was a let, but if the machine goes off, the central umpire has no choice.
Novak at his
14.
absolute best here in terms of just not giving Roger anything. He's allowed him to try and swing from different places on the court. Great discipline from the world number 2. Three breakback points.
Let for serve.
Found his range, Djokovic maybe. And that 4-1 game. Will it come back to haunt Federer here in this first set?
Mr. Federer is challenging the call on the right service line. What was called in.
And he looks as though he's just calmed down as well, Novak here. It looks as though he's got that kind of mindset that he plays his best in.
Well, this hasn't been his best set, has it, Novak? He's made 11 unforced errors now. Yes, Federer's made 12, but there's a difference of 16 winners. Federer on 20, Novak on 4. The errors are what gets my attention on Novak's side. He rarely makes this many.
15-all. You
know what worries me from a Federer perspective, though, is that he's hit all these winners. He's played, you would think, as well as he could play. Novak hasn't played anywhere near as well as we think he should, and it may be even after this game. Food for thought.
Said he was in that right mindset, but he is still a little fraying around the edges, as you can see there, coming out of a point of that quality and yet still looking up at his box, unhappy about things. But that was an absolutely brilliant backhand. Level we are.
5 games all.
And a set that's taken on even greater importance now for Federer. You always felt that he needed to come out here and win it.
Approach is not good enough. He's going to lose this point. Djokovic cracks it back in a cross court, which I thought, yeah, that's normal. Then he comes up with that. I didn't think he was going to win the point at this stage. How do you take the speed off that with feel? I guess only he knows.
15.
Yeah, and for all of those ardent supporters of either Novak or Rafa or Roger or Andy, I've always said that comparison is the thief of joy. If you don't admire them all for what they bring to the court, for their own personal uniqueness, it's only you that's missing out. Shots like that stay in the memory banks forever.
Trouble here.
15-13.
This ball's out. He hit it cleanly, but it's just wide. And we've gone from 4-1 break points to 5-all 15-30.
Well, his serve had been under pressure a lot more coming into this match than Novak's. He had to save or try and save 35 break points in his run through to the semi. Novak just 11. The best return of the game's ever seen, and he's barely offering up chances on serve as well.
If Federer doesn't win this game, there's trouble afoot.
Fleet of foot, that's for sure, and he needed to be.
13-14.
Another foray into the net. Novak looking for the pass, he knew what was coming, but still has that agility and finesse to save the first of these two crucial break points.
Mr. Federer challenging the call on the left service line. What was called fault?
This is not going to go his way.
Tough to pick anything here.
Mr. Federer has 2 challenges remaining.
Darn good second serve that got up high, but for Novak to miss that, that's a rarity.
Yeah, the reason he wanted another first serve and went for the challenge is because his second serve at that stage was under huge pressure. Had won just 3 out of 14 points. Got away with one.
Let first serve. Federer.
crucial holds when he's been
Federer
facing great
leads
points.
6 games to 5.
Opening game of the set, and that one there, 6-5 Federer.
Fehlt enough.
Well, if you want to back anyone in your life to go for broke and make them, why wouldn't you pick Roger? Why wouldn't you? Of course you would. But he has to make a few of those back to back.
Complicated rally between these two, both pushing and probing and looking for any weaknesses. Ultimately decided on an error that probably Federer will be disappointed with at this stage of the set.
Please.
Well, the absence of alternatives on the backhand return has forced him to drive through every one, pretty much.
I always think if you get to 30 all on the possible ultimate game, then everybody's heart rate goes up. You've got a chance from here, including the server's heart rate.
Let's first serve.
No one talks about his serve too much, do they? Maybe more than I expect. Maybe you do, Petch, but you have more knowledge than most. But at the right time, he seems to serve so well, this guy.
His spot serving is, I would say, as good as Roger's, to be honest. There's another great example.
6 games all. First set tiebreak. Each player receives 1 additional challenge.
He's gone through a number of modifications on that serve as well over the years. Some of it because of the injury to the elbow as well, which is why he's cut out pretty much a lot of the kick serving and going much bigger as a second serve. As we head into another tiebreaker between these two.
Djokovic.
Federer super aggressive in the last 5 breakers that they played that Novak has come out on top in.
2-0.
What a shot that was.
Djokovic.
From low to the court, stretching forward. He had to stretch forward for this, and it was low. Not many players can rip that for a winner.
In the Masters there
Djokovic.
at the back end of 2018, Novak, and then of course won all three at Wimbledon as well. Roger, in those tiebreakers, has hit 4 winners and 20 unforced errors. The rest of the match, he was hitting 1.5 winners to every unforced. He goes pretty big, Roger, and it's hurt him in these breakers recently against Novak. Novak, on the other hand, has offered up just a mere 6 unforced errors in those 5 breakers.
Djokovic.
Just can't help that thought coming in and
Djokovic.
out of your mind now that Federer let this set go. He had the 4-1, we've talked about it, he had the break points to go to 5-1. He held that next serve after not breaking. In retrospect, the set could have been over. And he finds himself now looking down the barrel. And to lose the first set from that position really hurts. Doesn't he play well? Incredibly well, Djokovic. When the big moment arrives, he is a master.
And this has turned into the best case scenario for Novak as well. Roger's going to have to lug those memories of chances come and gone through the rest of the match. And not only that, but this opening set now has gone over an hour long. So any fatigue he had coming in is just going to get compounded.
The skill level of that shot is at the top of the tree. Very few players can hit this. Consistently anyway, under pressure. Wow.
Very few players could have conceived it on the way there as an option to hit. 5 set points for the world number 2. And that's the way you take it, with a trademark backhand return. Djokovic, 7-6.
15 up.
For me, his intensity is not quite there,
30 left.
Roger. Just down a couple of percentage points, but in the body language, I know he's a relaxed individual when he plays, more than most, but
Let for serve.
Out!
40 left.
Out!
40-15.
just a wry smile there from Novak. Probably couldn't believe he missed it himself.
Game, Djokovic.
Yep, and the trade at the moment isn't paying off. Ultra aggressive, but the unforced errors flowing freely from his racket. And how's that for a sunset? That is truly spectacular in the background there. Two players doing their best to put on a show. Melbourne, as ever, has done that for us. Slight sense that the realization of Djokovic's skill and Roger's predicament physically has descended on this crowd.
You worried? I am.
About it being competitive?
Well, I mean, you have to be at full intensity to have a chance with Djokovic. And it just seems like he's dropped off a bit to me, Roger, here. Certainly early in this set. Because I want one player to win and not the other.
13.
I'm just saying I want a competitive match here, and I think for Federer to stay with Djokovic at this stage of Federer's career, he has to be 100%. He has to be intense.
That was some pass, by the way.
Yeah. Sort of normal, really, by his standards, isn't it?
Let's second serve. Mr. Federer is challenging the call on the right far sideline. Ball was called in.
Yeah, he's looking comfortable out here, Novak. I'm not sure if he's made this or not, but taking pace off into the backhand, drilling it when he needs to. Finding the lines at will right now.
15-40. Mr. Federer has 2 challenges remaining.
And the Federer challenge early in the second set, faltering.
40-40. Yes.
Well, you can understand his surprise. Lifetime of making those in his sleep, those returns, and a couple have gone long. Can Federer hang on?
Mr. Djokovic is challenging the call on the right far sideline. Ball was called out.
Well,
1-0.
he's holding on.
Mr. Djokovic has 2 challenges remaining.
1 game.
You can just feel it, can't you? You can feel the lack of intensity here right now.
Well, it feels like a decent play, but Novak was very quick to see it coming. Got an early jump on it.
Let's serve. Balls, please.
Novak easing through his second
Djokovic
service game of
leads
this second
2 games
set.
to 1.
2-1.
Please, especially back of the court. Thank you.
Get the sense this is the time for Roger to be micro ambitious out here. Just keep controlling things on his own serve, 1 point at a time, not getting too far ahead, not worrying about too many of the other distractions. Keep placing your serve in those locations at 187 Ks. You're not going to have to hit too many other balls. Terrific start to this game. Novak's down the line backhand, one of the most destructive shots as well in terms of unsettling a player's rhythm. You want to hang around in your backhand corner waiting for that cross-court ball. He doesn't often give it to you.
What a stretch. I know he missed it. Every time he moves to the ball, he makes an impression on you, Djokovic. This is not the same level that we saw in the first set. Let's hope, if it is a back for Federer, that he can loosen it up.
Game Federer.
Nevertheless, he's good enough to hold.
Yeah, I think that was a very encouraging game. Good location on serve,
2 games all.
good pace. There's been no drop off in that today as well, which I think, again, as I say, is a real positive for Federer. Whereas at the start of the match, those were all just touching the line. They're all just starting to miss.
Third enough.
Well, this is one of his best forehands for a long time here. Novak once again taking that backhand line. Federer getting behind the ball perfectly this time.
Just goes about his business, doesn't he?
Federer not investing too much in that game to turn it around. Djokovic 3-2 up in the second. And of course in the open era.
I thought that was interesting. He leads 3-2, up a set. But he was annoyed with himself there for not making that, and that tells me I want to lift my own intensity because I've let myself get a little flat here.
Such a delayed shot there from Djokovic. You eventually got to half commit one way or the other to try and get a jump on it.
15-13. Let for serve.
Well, this is the talent of the man, isn't it? He's not moving 100% here, I don't believe, but he's still capable with his hand-eye coordination to do this.
30-14.
Novak would have been disappointed with that last point, but his eyes on a much bigger prize, and that's the collection of this game. And he may well get it here.
Let's second serve.
Yeah, well, he's annoyed here because I think Djokovic, I mean, he's making some unforced errors that are not normal for him, and I feel like it's because he's let Roger's lack of intensity because of his injury. He's let himself drop. He's annoyed with himself.
Federer.
Serve in this second set that looked unlikely.
3 games all.
More intent about the Federer play, incisive there with the slice.
Let for serve. And
this is why people don't talk about his serve as much, because it doesn't necessarily bring up aces all the time.
Yeah.
But boy, it brings up a lot of unreturnables.
Second
I wonder whether that was due to the indecision in his own mind. He has been hitting the majority of serves, second serve down the tee at around 170. drop-off tonight from Novak
14,
on his second serve
15.
speeds to drop it in with nothing into the backhand of Federer up high. And it's those little nuances that you have to make the adjustments for against different opponents.
I mean, his adrenaline just looks less to me, Novak, tonight than normal.
Djokovic
Acceleration was there on that ball, though. No real room for error for Roger now. So successful tonight.
And in his whole career, Mark has only 158 Ks. If you hit it with that much swing and up the line, you can hit it at that pace.
Interesting to see how slow he's actually hit it tonight as well. I mean, that is a lot slower than his average out wide.
Amazingly, to me, he's still in this set. And I think Novak's got himself to blame a little bit here. Just my opinion. Because Federer hasn't played that well. He's just hanging on, I think, and Djokovic has allowed him here. Missed an easy one there by his standards, putting himself under pressure. Federer inside the line.
Roger's heroics on serve, he's not making much of a dent in Djokovic's serve in this second set. Serve has dropped just 4 points so far, and he will resolutely and steadfastly stay up on the baseline here and just try and cut the angles down. He's not going to shift too much. And he's taken up an ultra aggressive position here.
15. Led for serve.
Interesting to know whether, from Roger, that was just a case in point that he knew he hadn't won many points and he wanted to just change things up, or that was a function of how he's feeling.
Game. Djokovic.
Crisis on serve at a crucial stage of this second set for Djokovic. 5-4 in the second.
Subdued, I think, as he's been here in the second set. It only takes one game, doesn't it, where he needs to fire up. Djokovic now. Luka with hands clasped. Look at her husband.
Shot there of the balls that have been here at the Australian Open for the last couple of years. Changed manufacturers, a little heavier, a little fluffier, as you can see there. Picture perfect setting here on the Rod Laver Arena under the nighttime sky in Melbourne for two of the game's biggest stars. They've illuminated tennis courts all around the globe for the last 14 years in this wonderful rivalry. Djokovic in the ascendancy here in their 50th meeting.
Love it, team.
Serve continues to keep him in this second set. He's a whisker off 70% of his first serves going in.
To his credit, he's playing points well when he really needs to. Just to stay in this set with Djokovic, and it's frustrating the Serbian.
There, and he doesn't miss many of those when he's in that situation. Just needed to get the elevation right off the strings, and this point was his.
Well, he waits and waits to see if Djokovic is coming back, then just with a little flick, he tried to flick the wrist. Catches the tape. See Novak's reaction again. Every time it seems like he's got a sniff, Federer comes up with something to keep him at bay.
Deuce.
Matter of time. You're not fully with me, are you? Still a chance?
Still a chance, but it's
Thank you.
getting smaller right now. He was a little slow to that.
Yeah.
No question about it.
Advantage.
That's not a hard
Djokovic.
shot. It's all about movement there. So here we come.
Please. Please.
This man will take no prisoners. 2 sets to love now.
Well, he uses the dimensions of the court, Federer, as a basic guide, but he pretty much plays without borders, and you can bet your bottom dollar you're going to see him inside that baseline even more. He is not going to do as much running.
Left, Christoph. First game, third set.
Well, I think one way you can look at this is that Federer knew, but he's got such dignity that there were 15,000 fans here. There would have been a lot of people in the draw wouldn't have showed. But he comes out, he maybe I don't want to call it going through the motions because he hasn't done that. He's been trying and he's hit some amazing shots, but he's here and he's putting on a show as best he can in these conditions. But I think he has brought Novak down a fraction because of that. We haven't seen the best of Novak here tonight, but to his credit, he has found a way to be 2 sets to love up.
Pride's kicked in. You saw the reaction after that particular forehand as well.
Yep. Not a situation he likes to be in, is it? And trying to get a bit of adrenaline going here, Roger. Seriously good forehand.
Game.
Oh, he was there, Djokovic.
New balls, please. 1 game all.
Both players going to the side to change rackets, just getting a slightly tighter restring. The one they've used for 9 games has probably dropped off a little bit now. They come out with a fresh one when the new balls come out. Ivan Lendl, in my memory bank, was the first guy to do it. Back in the late 80s. And now most of these top guys come out with 7, 8 restrings so that they can bring out a fresh one every change of balls.
Good enough. Love.
Tough to come back from 2 sets to love down anyway, but particularly tough when you're playing a player who is as good as you on the talent scale, as competitive as you as well.
Let for serve.
Interesting. I don't know how many times actually on the men's tour that sort of players in a top 5 match, this of course the top 3 match, they've actually turned around 2 sets to love deficit. Lendl, of course, against Mac famously at the French.
To win his first major.
Yeah.
30-15.
Becker had a few, didn't he? But beat Courier when Courier was 5 in the world from 2 sets to love down. But there'll be a few possibly in Davis Cup as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
But it's a tough ask. It was a tough ask before it got underway.
Just magnificently accurate, isn't he, with that backhand?
40,
measured.
15.
So he's balanced, he's not rushed, and he just measures the shot and plays it for what it's worth. He doesn't overplay it to take more risk than is needed. Beautiful structure of that technique.
Once again, a serve delivered with accuracy and self-belief, which is growing by the game now for Djokovic, that he will be through to an 8th Australian final. 2-1, 3rd set.
Thank you. Dirty left. Please. Please.
14 aces to Federer to 7 from Djokovic. At 15, and to a degree, serve has allowed him to stay sort of within striking distance, hasn't it?
2 games
Absolutely,
all.
yeah, it's kept him in the same realm because for the most part, if this was another player out here, this would have been, I think, a little more comprehensive in terms of the scoreline. But it is keep giving him a little platform. It is asking the question consistently of Djokovic's nerve. It's been a fairly affirmative response from the Serb so far in the match, though.
Why would today be any different? Well, first time this set he missed his first serve.
15.
And then couldn't win the backcourt rally. So
all. Thirty, 15. Let's first serve.
teaser, maybe. Didn't put that ball away,
14.
Played it a bit safe. Djokovic
15.
gave Federer a chance to be spectacular.
Yeah, a bit of a distraction from the crowd there, I think, put him off.
Game, Djokovic.
But he keeps
Djokovic
driving those
leads by
serves
3
in
games to
and
2.
keeps giving up precious few opportunities now for Roger to have any real sense of optimism. No US Open moment this time for Federer.
15.
One of the best tweeners he ever hit was against Djokovic there. And that point might just define this third set.
Yeah, he shouldn't have lost that point.
Let for serve.
Staggeringly good from both, to be fair, and that's why we tune in to watch these matches. The serve was unbelievable, the return on the stretch was just Djokovic at his best, and the backhand down the line produces this wonderful free-flowing forehand, and even Novak has to stick his thumb up for that.
Yeah.
Novak He's just not getting a hold of the Federer serve. I mean, I know it's a great serve, but I would expect Novak to get more purchase on the return. Marian, does he get enough credit? He's been there for the journey, really, hasn't he?
Probably not. I mean, I think most of us in the sport certainly recognise what he's given to Novak. Sacrificed his time away from the family. Obviously, they've had huge success, but he's been much more than just a tennis coach as well from Novak's perspective. Riccardo Piatti, of course, took on Novak right at the start of his career. When Riccardo was working with Federer's now coach, Ivan Lubicic. They shared Riccardo for a little while until Novak decided that he needed somebody solely for himself.
First serve. Yes. Mr. Djokovic has 2 challenges remaining.
There's Novak at his best. Precise into the backhand side of Roger, off the return, and then just build the point from there. The error came early.
Sets to love down halfway through the third.
Djokovic.
Don't want to put the mozza on anybody, but this could finish quickly.
Good aggressive play then from Djokovic into the forehand of Federer. Wasn't fearful of Federer's best shot. Break point.
Federer is challenging the call on the left far sideline.
The flight,
ball was called in.
The precision, everything that you associate with the world number 2 attached to that shot, and I do believe it attached itself to the line.
No doubt. No doubt. It was always in.
Djokovic leads.
And not so much of a celebration this time from Novak. Just
has 2
commitment to
challenges
concentrate now, to consolidate.
Yep, his performances at times, even stadiums of 15,000 people, you kind of feel as a fan that he's tailored them to your individual wishes. He has a unique charm and elegance to the way that he plays.
No normal Roger Federer misses that.
Couple of crucial misses on the forehands that not sure would have changed the outcome in the long run, but certainly in the opening set to go up 5-1, the forehand miss definitely stopped him from winning the opening set, and that one there has stopped him at least getting a couple of breakpoint chances. And against somebody as good as Novak, you have to take the chances.
Faithful man when it comes to Djokovic's serve, and it's coming to reality, isn't it? Here he's catching to a degree in the ace column.
Please,
the unreturnables,
ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Are quite prolific.
So good with the feet to get in position quickly off that return to make the shot down the line. And Novak a game away from his 8th Australian Open final. You kind of get the sense that Federer's eyes were fixed on Djokovic's.
Thank you.
He's known what's coming next.
Please.
It's an ancient contract, and the finishing touches about to be applied. Still life, and where there's life, there's hope. Djokovic doing his best to extinguish that hope with another razor-sharp return.
But if you single something out here, possibly the fact that Federer wants to retire with never stopping in a match.
Yeah.
And that's part of his reasoning here. No doubt. I mean, after the first set, it was a long shot that he was going to have any effect in this match. So admire that, but at the same time, admire what this man is doing. He's fit, he's strong, he's flexible.
Let's. Djokovic leads 5 games to 3.
And in that context, good means as good as we've ever seen. Here he goes, serving for the match in the semi-final.
Mr. Djokovic is challenging the call on the right service line. The ball was called fault. 5 to love. Please. $30 left.
Still capable of a flurry though, isn't he?
13-15.
Gee, that's a sweet looking backhand when he steps into this Federer. Grace and power all wrapped up in one.
I think he just basically put himself in this position, Roger, because he wanted to say, you thought the previous round was a comeback. This is a comeback.
Thank you.
You've always been a funny guy.
Please. Please. Thank you.
The look tells you everything you need to know. Djokovic a point away from the final here in Melbourne.
Please.
Djokovic dominates Federer in the first of the men's semi-final, and he gives himself a chance come Sunday for his 8th Australian Open title and potentially his 17th overall to close the gap on his greatest rivals.